Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into a Thursday episode of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Perrault. You guys have probably been following me on socials. If you don't, you probably haven't seen what I've been writing about, but at Sports Talk Matt is how you guys can do so. Omaha Steaks, the title sponsor of this podcast. This is going to be a quick and a different type of podcast. I haven't watched anything. I haven't really read anything. I haven't studied. I haven't really felt the desire or want. For those of you who may not know, I teach at UNLV. I've been teaching there for the last 4 years, and I was expected on campus today at 4 o'clock to go and have my final meetings with my students. I had actually canceled that, so I was actually going to go to campus but not go to my classroom at 4 o'clock. And well, while I was on the air doing the Bostonian versus the Book, my other show, I received the text message that will now haunt me about an active shooter going on campus. The experiences I've had in my broadcasting career has been, I was on the air during 9/11. I was on the air during the Westroads mall shootings in Omaha, Nebraska. I was on the air during the Boston Marathon bombings. I have a tattoo on my arm that's in memory of those who lost their lives and who were impacted and affected by the Boston Marathon bombings. 9/11 is always with me because of where I was and how I was a news reporter for 3 days in Huntsville, Alabama. I was 2,000 miles away from home. Now being 46 and having a daughter of my own and having the experiences of taking her to campus to see the building that I work in be surrounded by police and know the campus as well as I do. The student union is directly across from where I work, where I go to work every Monday and Wednesday. I go to work. And my relationship with my students is incredibly special, and I have had such an incredible, amazing time. And that somebody would hurt them or attempt to hurt them is beyond me. And the person that did this, an older man that was disgruntled about something, we don't know the whole story about it, but the fact that he could walk onto campus and shatter everyone's thought and safety and security is tough to deal with and has been difficult for me to wrap my head around. We don't know the names of the victims yet. It's, 11 o'clock on, here on a Wednesday night when I tape the podcast. And so, I've been trying to figure out, what do I do with this podcast today? Do I even do a podcast today? Because it feels immensely inappropriate for me to do a podcast today because I'm furious. I'm sad. I am shocked. My co-host's daughter, Dave Sherapan, who I do BVB with, his daughter is a freshman at UNLV. And I just go back to my freshman year. I was at UMass. What would that have been like if my first semester of college, this happens? How do I go back to school? How do I, feel safe? And I feel for Dave and his family. I feel for the families of those people whose kids are away at school. One of my students was on the news. He's on the news. I do a broadcasting class. I'm like, wow, he was so good on the news. The professor in me came out. I was like, wow. And I was like, but he's talking about an awful thing that he and his fellow students are having to deal with. He's from Connecticut, of all places, right? I mean, my relationship with Connecticut is pretty funny. But he's far from home. I couldn't imagine having my child be across the country when a mass shooting breaks out on the campus that he goes to. So, look, I'm not smart enough to know why or how we fix this. It's happened so often in my career now. Like I said, this is the 4th time I've been on the air during a mass casualty event. It's unbelievable. I have people who still tell me to this day, I learned about 9/11 from your morning show in Huntsville, Alabama. Or I heard about the Boston Marathon bombing from you listening to your show in New Hampshire. Or I found out about the Westroads mall shooting from your show in Omaha when you were there. And I guarantee there's people who were watching BVB when I got the text message that said, this is not a drill. Active shooter on campus. And I didn't know what to do with the information, and I had to talk my co-host through it and be like, Dave, where's your daughter? He had to find his kid, and his kid was on lockdown for 5.5 hours in the library on campus. So, look, there are things that are bigger than sports, but I felt like it was important for me to come on here. I'll give you one play for today. If I have others, and I probably will have others in the morning, I'll get up and I'll look around. I'll put it on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat. My handle is @SportsTalkMatt. Go in the Daily Juice portion of the Discord channel. I'll go in there and I'll post probably some other plays, a couple of hockey plays or something that I like at some point before. But, this was supposed to be a fun night. The Patriots are playing on Thursday Night Football against the Steelers. It's supposed to be a fun game to watch. Bet against the Patriots. Bet the under. Bet under on the props for the Patriots on their offense because they can't do anything. I was going to have some fun tonight. I was going to enjoy this. And now it feels just not appropriate at the moment until I find out the names of the 3 victims and really the 4 victims. There's one person who's in the hospital with gunshot wounds who's in stable condition. But until we find out the names of these people, I'm really scared that I know the victims. I mean, the number of people who were on TV that I knew at UNLV, it was unbelievable. I was like, what's going on? There were so many. Every time I turned on the TV news locally, there was another person there being interviewed that I either had in class or that I worked with as a colleague. So I just can't stop thinking okay, when are they going to release the names of the victims, and who are these families that we're going to have to reach out to and support? Were they students? Were they faculty? Who were they? I mean, the guy who got me the job at UNLV was in the building and heard the gunshots when it went off. Like a close person to me that I wouldn't have my job at UNLV if he didn't bring me to campus. He was teaching in the building that the shooting happened. And students of his in his class were also students of mine in previous semesters and this semester. They were in that building. And so the idea that people that were that close to me were impacted this way for a school of 20,000, but that corner of the university, that corner of campus is where we work. It's where the media department is. It's where the journalism building is. It's where the journalism classes happen. Audio, TV, mass media, all these things. They all happen there. So it makes sense that I would know a lot of people involved, but it's a campus of 20,000. And to know people close to this, it could have been at some other part on campus and it wouldn't have, impacted me. But all those buildings that you're seeing, all the live shots that are happening from the TV news around the country, the CNNs, the Fox Newses, the MSNBCs, all those live shots that are right there by the student union, look to the left of the student union. That's where I work. And I go there every single Monday and Wednesday and have for 4 years. So, I mean, my thoughts are with UNLV. I'm wearing the shirt. If you're watching it on video, this is one of the pieces of gear that I've got for UNLV. And it just sucks. Okay? It just sucks. And I love you guys. I love the community for the Daily Juice. I know the vast majority of you will understand. I'm sure some of you will have a snarky comment or two and shut up, Matt, and give me picks because that's kind of who you are. All right. But I know the vast majority of you guys will understand that this is going to be a tough week for me and it's a tough day and bigger things, more important things are at play here. Okay? So if you ever say, oh, I don't know anybody affected by the UNLV shootings, guess what? Now you do. Me. So you know somebody who was affected deeply by what just went on the campus of UNLV. And until we find out the names of the victims, I'm not going to be easy here. I have a really sick feeling in my stomach, and I really want to know, who had this tragedy happen? How can we help their families? Were they students? Were they faculty? The motive, why in the hell did this happen? One of the most special times for my daughter and I is when I bring her to my campus class every single semester and she meets my class because she gets to see, one, what her dad does. Two, the fuel she gets from those students is incredible. She sees what college is all about. She sees why she's going to elementary school, and then high school, and then college. I never got that. I was never shown why I was on a path. I was just told to go to elementary school, go to high school, go to college. I want to show my daughter like the amazing things at higher education. What awaits you at the end of all of these years of school that you're going to go through, because it can be special. It can be incredible. It can be the time of your life if you make it that way. And now I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how I bring my daughter to campus. I want to. Don't know how I'm going to feel about it. So the play I'll give you guys for today is somewhat predictable, but we're going to tease this Thursday night football game. Take the total up to 36 and go under. And we're going to take the Steelers down from -6 to a pick. -120, same game teaser. This should be readily available. If your book does not allow you to same game tease, I mean, come on. You can tease the Patriots up to +12 if you want, but I'm not interested in doing it. I'm just going to pull it down. Patriots, if they win this game, I'm going to be furious. They should not win this game. They should absolutely lose this game. I need it for our Steelers bet over 8.5 wins. It's a very important game. I think the Pittsburgh defense is why they win. I think the Patriots will turn the ball over. I think that Mitch Trubisky, though, will throw a pick. Okay? He will throw a pick in this game. So you want both quarterbacks to be intercepted. Decent prop bet to make here if you want a prop bet in this game. But officially, we're going to go -120, 1.2 units down. Total up to 36. We're going under. Pick them for the Steelers to win this game. -6 down to a pick here in this one. -120, same game teaser for us. Again, whatever else I'll add, I'm not sure. I'll look to add something in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat. I apologize for the tone. It's been a hard day. Hopefully most of you guys will understand. One pick, hopefully more, to give you guys later on today. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys are awesome. I thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me vent here on this. More picks and plays later to come, coming later today. But for now, the Daily Juice Podcast every single day being brought to you by omahasteaks.com.